Hello, I've been in Cheongju just over 1 week now exactly. Although I can hardly remember the Thursday night that I got here. But it is technically a week. I thought since I've been here a week and actually done some teaching, should probably actually talk about the teaching side because I haven't really covered it yet with everything else I've been doing. I started this week observing Ferg. And that was really helpful because obviously like the teaching here is just so different to how it is in England. And then the last few days I've been teaching steadily more and more and more of the lessons in the day. At the moment, some of the kids I seem to be getting on pretty well with. They're all up for a joke and they seem quite friendly. Other ones seem really cripplingly shy, or maybe their English just isn't great. And then at just a few of the sessions, they're all really good workers. I mean, the basic format of a session is they give you the books that they've been reading at home. They give you their homework. You tick to say that they brought back the book. You mark their homework, which is usually just either they've done it and they get a sticker, or they haven't and then they get they have to do it later or something. And the stickers, this isn't just like a sticker. These stickers they actually collect in a book, and they can trade them in at reception for biscuits or stationery and that sort of stuff. So there is actually a physical reward for these stickers. So you're collecting the homework, and then they do these things called CT tests, where basically they've been practicing these sentences at home. The ball bounces through the grass that was in the story they were reading at home, and they've got to write these sentences, and they can, in these little flip books, they've got all the sentences in Korean, and they just have to write it in English, and they all have different goals and stuff, and if they hit their goal, they get a sticker. If they get less than half, if they get half, between half and just under their goal, it's no sticker, no after, and then if they get under their goal, under half their goal, it's after, which means they have to stay afterwards and do it with Robin who's in reception. But the attitude towards homework and stuff is really weird. Some kids are exactly like what you would think is the Asian stereotype of really diligent, laid out boom 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 perfectly, and others just don't care. So you just slap an after. After you've done that, you then read the storybook with the new book that they're going to get with them, and they go around and they read one page at a time, going round and round and round. And what I've noticed some of them is they'll work out when they're going to read, and just turn to that page and just stay on that page, practicing it, and so not really listening. And they can read almost every word and pronounce it more or less okay, but there's just no expression at all, and there's no real comprehension of the story. These stories are pretty simple. My granddad is going to babysit me today. My granddad climbed to the top of the ladder and fell off and hurt himself. I had to phone the ambulance. That sort of stuff. And they can read it all, but there's just no expression. And I've tried engaging with some of them, after a story. There's a story about a kid's birthday cake, and you say, "Oh, what birthday cake did you have?" And that they know the question you're asking. Maybe they lack some of the language to respond, but it's the moment that you step outside this really rigid sequence, they're just lost. They just look at you why are we doing this? Because the lessons are 45 minutes, and I guess they're just so used to the system. And so you go around and they read the story twice, and then they all read it at the same time, which is usually just noise. And then that goes away, and at the moment we're doing this story thing where there's this mouse who's sailing, and there's a sequence of pictures, and they have to go, mouse looks at the sea. Mouse, he builds a bedboat. He sails away. He visits a warm land. He visits a cold land. And they've got to tell this story, and it will be recorded later on in the term as a send home thing to the parents. And I'm really trying to get them to actually use some expression, because at the moment it's Mouse looks at the sea. He builds a big boat. He builds a big boat. And so they know the words, but it's just like it's just the most monotonous, boring way of saying it. And so just trying to get them to just some tone and intonation. And so some kids are starting to get it. So we do that. That goes away, and then you get out like either like a student book or a workbook, and these are like those foreign language textbooks that you had when you were in secondary school. You know, join the sentences to the correct people. The sections of dialogue. There's like colouring in tasks. There's join the right thing to the right thing. All that sort of stuff, standard sort of stuff. And they'll just like look and go, and just kind of most of them will just kind of go through it, and you have to try and like read it through and get them to answer in sentences. But their spelling and their writing is really really good. But there was one that was like these series of questions that was like, do you play the recorder? Yes, I do. Or no, I don't. Do you like music? And like when it said, do you like music? I thought, well, they all wrote like, yes, I do. I said, like, oh, what sort of bands do you listen to? What sort of music? And then just, and so I was like, Psy. I was trying to think of like big international band, Katy Perry. AC/DC. Maroon 5, and like you hardly get anything at all. Like almost no personal engagement. And that could be because I'm new or because I'm not asking the right sorts of questions. But it was just a bit disheartening today. Like it is dialogue. You are serving a purpose by asking these questions, but we'll see if it gets any better. And then you give out the stickers to their homework and their tests, and that's it. That's the 45 minutes. And on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that's from 2:50 till about 9 o'clock. So that's about seven or eight classes, and then on Tuesday, Thursday, it's about 6 classes because it's only 2:50 until 7. It seems pretty easy, but it just seems like at the moment there's, I don't know, maybe the relationship will build up, and you get 10-minute gaps in between the classes. So it should be interesting. It's quite a good exercise, I guess, for if I go back and I teach children who've got like English as an additional language, because you've got to learn to like speak slowly and only almost use broken English, despite the fact that I'm supposed to be modelling it. Sometimes I have to speak in like pidgin broken English, like you go circus, because if you use like long sentences, it's just gone. But we'll say, there are some like kids with some really nice personalities and really seem to be quite engaged. And the behaviour is generally good. There's some kids that are just don't care at all and just minimal amount to get done, and there's a lot of chatting, but there's almost no like real behaviour problems. To be honest, like the teaching is just like a bit of this, like it's just meant to be like an experience. I guess a bit like when you go to university, like the degree, it is a big part of it. It's going to make up not the probably like the it's going to be the focus of your time, but you're the living by yourself, the meeting new people, that side of your life. That's like almost as big or can even be bigger, particularly like in the first year when the work isn't really that hard. And that feels a bit like this is going to be like, if I do this for a year, it's going to feel a bit like first year of university, except you're getting paid and having a great experience, and that suits me. I'm fine with that. But yeah, who knows? This isn't even a full week of doing it, so I might have a completely different perspective. I might find that once they get to know me, I can really engage, or I might get really bored, or they might hate me, and kids might start dropping out, because that's the weird thing. It's a private school, so it's like private classes, so you can't. It's not like in primary school where you can be like, you are at school to learn, because you're not supposed to be like that here. They'll just go somewhere else, and the school doesn't want you to alienate the pupils. So we'll see. Had some more amazing food, but I won't mention food again. This one I'll mention it later. On Sunday, loads of people are leaving here, which really sucks because it's like Ferg's going for one, and they're all people like I've met and I've really got on with. So it's a shame that they'll be going. I feel kind of sorry. Like some of their replacements have only just come in, or haven't even got here yet. So I couldn't imagine like getting into the group that quickly. But when Ferg goes, the only good side of that is I will have then my smartphone, so I can start to do some recordings of stuff that doesn't just feature the blank crap that is my apartment. So I'll probably be doing some more recording. I am going to show the view from outside the apartment, and I'll do that tomorrow. All right then, thanks.